Alright boys, beta 3.03 HF2 coil on the Deus. This is one of the first tests. See those nails there? Now they're not exactly on the same plane, but they're laying on the same plane. The nails are a little taller. You've got that half dime. I'm going to lay the coil up here. You see what we've got? Center that coil over that dime. I'm quite a ways from that iron. Alright. Now that half dime right there was found at about 3 inches in the wild, boys. And a high-ass iron sight, okay? So you don't know how deep something like that could be in a sight. You could be in a tear-out sight, and it could be shallow for sure, huh? Where it's been moved up around some nails. All of the tests that I show today using this will be sensitive program silencer 2. I'm going to keep the silencer at 2 for all of them, okay? In audio response, I'm going to leave at 4, but the speaker on this machine is 1 level off of max. No signal strength in these videos. Alright? I'm going to turn the sensitivity, I'm going to keep it in all the videos at 93. This is the 89 kilohertz band. Speed 3 from 1 inch above. Hear anything, boys? Fast detector, ain't it? You might get it in your head. You can just cruise through that old side of tear out and just zippity-doo-dah around. 1 inch above, you don't hear anything. 2 inches above, do you hear anything? Slow sweep. Now, sweep speed can be a driver, but there at 2 inches above, it's not doing us any good in speed 3. Well, what about speed 4? Hear anything? Slow sweep, fast sweep. Now remember, I'm in the 89 kilohertz band. I've done commented on speed 5. Hear anything? 2 inches above. You don't hear shit on that dime. What about 3 inches? Nothing. Speed 5. You hear that? Speed 3 from 3 inches. Weak signal. You heard that, right? Now, I guess what I should do, I'm going to leave this machine in pitch tones. All these tests will be shown in pitch tones, too. 3 inches above speed 3. Didn't hear anything, did you? You heard iron tone. Reactivity 1.5 from 1 inch above. Oh, you hear that? Using this coil, the sharpshooter's advice, you better heed one-way hits with this coil in the wild. That may be all you get. So you could A, slow your sweep speed down, and that still might not give you two-way signal, but you might rotate and boom! You may get two-way signal, okay? Speed 1.5 again from 2 inches above. One-way signal. Real slow sweep. There we get two-way signal. 4 inches above. Notice there we're getting two-way signal at 1.5. Now, speed 3 from 4 inches above, you hear it, it's hitting it. But what about 3 inches? Hear that? 3 inches is shaky. But this machine will pick that dime up at 3 inches if I take that iron out there. So this is not depth related per se. You get my drift? Reactivity 0. In mild ground, could you run this machine at reactivity 0? I think you can. It could have big benefits for you too, and you'll see later today maybe. Speed 0, that's 1 inch above. How about that? Hear that? I didn't get that in those faster speeds, did I? Here's speed 3 from 1 inch above. What do you hear? Nothing. Oh, but speed 3 is fast, ain't it? Oh, it ought to just tear that little half dime all to hell, but it won't. Okay, let's go down here now and change the frequency. We'll just show 29 kilohertz, reactivity 3 from 1 inch above. You don't hear anything. 1 inch above, 2 inches, 3 inches. You hear that signal. Real slow sweep. Two-way signal from 3 inches, 4 inches. Back to 1 inch on a slow sweep. Nothing. 0.5 reactivity. 1 inch above. You hear that? One-way signal. That may be all you get on this machine in the wild, and you could rotate on that target. Hear something like that. All right. Now this is the 29 kilohertz band. I'm at 0.5 reactivity from 5 inches above. All right. Now I'm taking the reactivity to 3 from 5 inches above. 4 inches. 3 inches. See what happens? When you do get a hit, it may be a squeaker, a light squeaker. But notice what reactivity 1 does here. That's not a squeaker, boys. That's busting it, okay? That's going to conclude this little series here with the half dime. All right. Indian head penny final generation. Nails are slightly elevated. You see that? All right, and the nail looks like, I'll put the coil up here so you can get an idea of center of the coil. So it's not touching the end of that nail, okay? Again, you may get it in your head, oh, I'm running this fast high frequency coil. And you're out in the site and you're zippity-doo-dawing around. Well, let's see what could happen to you here. Speed 3. 89 kilohertz band, 1 inch above. Now remember, I'm an inch above the nails, but the Indian head penny is below them. You hear that? 1 inch above them nails. What do you hear? Dodgy, huh? 2 inches? Okay. 4 inches, 89 kilohertz, speed 3. Okay. 29 kilohertz, speed 3 from 1 inch above. All right. You hear that? 2 inches above. Strong signal. Reactivity 1 from 1 inch above. You hear that? Reactivity 3 from 1 inch above. Nothing. You see that? I didn't change the frequency band. That was 29 kilohertz you just heard. Now we're in the 53 kilohertz band. 53 kilohertz band, speed 3, an inch above the nails. Nothing there. Drop the reactivity to 1. You hear that? There's that good old one-way signal I talked about earlier. Okay. Speed 4 from 1 inch above. Slow sweep. One-way signal with a real slow creeper. Speed 0.5 with a fast sweep. Two-way signal, slow sweep. Two-way signal. Speed 5 from 1 inch above, slow sweep. How about that? You don't hear anything on that Indian head penny. That's the 53 kilohertz band. Now we're in the 89 kilohertz band. We'll let this car get by. This is speed 5, 89 kilohertz band. 1 inch above the nails. Slow sweep. Nothing. 0. Speed 4, 1 inch above the nails. Slow sweep. Nothing. Hover sweep? Hell, I don't even get anything really on a damn hover sweep. Okay, speed 3, 1 inch above. Slow sweep, nothing there. Speed 2, 1 inch above the nail. One-way signal. See that? That's going to be valuable using this piece of equipment here, boys, okay? One-way signal. Maybe all you get to go on some detecting scenarios, and it might pay off for you, okay? So you don't want to dismiss those necessarily. You use it the way you want to. Reactivity 0 from 1 inch above. Nice strong signal, slow sweep. So only a one-way signal, maybe a tinge of a two-way signal there. Let me turn this camera off. Alright, camera back on. 10-karat gold ring. The nails are slightly elevated, okay? I'm going to put the coil up here so you can look at what we've got. The center of that coil over that gold ring does not touch those nails. Does not come into the plane of those nails, okay? For distance. Reactivity 4. 29 kilohertz band from 1 inch above. Slow sweep. Nothing there, boys, okay? That's 29 kilohertz band, speed 4. You see it in the camera. Speed 1. You see that? Now I've got two-way signal, huh? Some people may be looking at that saying, oh, this is a fast high-frequency call. What about speed 3 here? What does it do? 1 inch above. You see that? You're shit out of luck, ain't you? You're out there cruising around and you just happen to be... Now, the iron quantity there could be driving our results somewhat. The goal of this video is to show you how the speed setting on this machine could cost you a fine. And you may be thinking a certain way about this fast, high-frequency call. Alright, there's some people out there who's already done this shit, and I've seen some people out there sweeping this machine on YouTube. Call sweep speed. Slower versus faster in challenge sites, even as good as this machine is. Okay? Speed 3 again from 1 inch above. You hear that? Okay, we're going to leave it in speed 3. We're changing frequency bands. We're going from 29 kilohertz to 53. You see what happened there? We went from no signal to two-way signal, huh? That's in speed 3. What about speed 5 in the 53 kilohertz band? So now we went to one-way signal. Speed 2 in the 53 kilohertz band, 1 inch above. One-way signal, but we've got a strong signal. What about speed 0.5 from 1 inch above? Now we went to two-way signal. How about that? The 89 kilohertz band. Speed 0.5, 1 inch above. Strong two-way signal. What about speed 4? Two-way signal, but weaker. How about speed 5? Slow sweep. You see what I'm talking about? Speed 5 there ain't worth a shit, is it? Alright? A tot lot hunter may get in their mind to try to run this machine like that. Would that be the smartest move necessarily? You got to make up your own mind, okay? That's going to conclude this video here, okay? We'll show some more.